Shouts out Big Steve.
Shout out Michael Bisbin. Shout out to the listeners. Welcome back. Big Brand MMA recap episode number 2. We made it past the pilot. There was more than one listen on episode 1, so we'll keep this going, right? We'll see how we go. There was no UFC last week, so we're going to recap, mainly Road to UFC and the regional action, the other regional action other than the Road to UFC. And because UFC Vegas 107 falls on the 1st of June for me, that's the end of the month. So I'm going to do a monthly recap for May. We'll see where we're at. All right. We'll see where we're at. And then we'll move on. Right. These recaps, it's just a recap. Keep it short and sweet. And I'll put out a UFC breakdown show end of the week. So, all right. Basically, over the 4 episodes of Road to UFC, 2 bets, 2 big underdog bets, and 2 big hits for 781 profit. So not bad. Almost 2 units. Could have been better. We'll talk about it. Let's go. So in the first episode, I just bet Nakamura. He ended up being a $3.50 underdog. It stood out on the tape. And yeah, I told everyone, wow, this feels like a good bet. He's much better than the line indicates. He has all the finishing upside. Park was overrated, blah, blah. That hit. So I only put like $150 to win 360. That should have been a whole unit play, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you overtape. And, episode 2, we bet nothing. This one was one of the hardest ones to get a lean on, honestly. A lot of people liked Kera. He was massive chalky line. Aaron Tao, unplayable. But I guess you could have parlayed him because he just ran through this guy. Cheng Minyo, he was a good, a lot of people's options, a lot of people's plays, but it ended up a close fight still. Aguili, another massive favorite. Cameron Lee, I kind of said he might be able to knock this guy out. Maybe at minus 200, there was a little bit of value. But yeah, nothing there. I'll go back to episode 1 for a second. Yeah, I do regret not playing Matsuda just because I'm not a fan guy. Not a fan guy at all. I know people were parlaying her even in the last fight when she got head kicked. And yeah, the line got so crazy that, usually I would just put like $100 on Matsuda and, she won a split. This Baitabi Yamauchi, there was no read for me, and I thought it was a grappler versus striker, and the grappler ended up knocking him out. So, props to the people who played the underdog. Shin Yin, I thought he should have been the favorite. He knocked him out. Props to him. And Zalai is the only guy I kind of regret. He was a little bit better than minus 200, and I thought he might be a fraud. Julisi has his advantages, and because of that, I passed. But ultimately, Salazar barely did anything and beat Julisi. I beat Julisi in his UFC debut against Yu, and he just got shut down. And I put him on the no-bet list. So that should have been a play on Salazar because of that. So I didn't really get much time to tape these fights. They were like Thursday, Friday, like 2 full days before the UFC. And I usually, I get a lot of my tape done later in the week. So I was really scrambling to get the tape done. So I was happy with that one bet and one hit. And then episode 3 and 4, I said, look, I'm going to spend a bit more time because the reads are good. I don't want to miss out on good options here. So, Kick Campbell, Sato, I didn't play anything. Campbell was minus 200. Sato looked like a banger. I'm not really a big Kit guy. But, George, what's up, George? These 2 days of road were fire, correct? George was big on Kit Campbell. He didn't really answer me why, but when I saw that weigh-in, I was like, man, this guy's massive. And he just ran through Sato. Ran Dafa, just another Chinese versus Indonesia squash match. That should have been a parlay piece. Sim Kong Yung was minus 200 against this Ito guy. I said, I get it. He should be the favorite, but I'm not really impressed with Zong. He won a 30-27 on one card. It was a very competitive fight, in my opinion. So props to people that played it. Jack Becker, wow, it was minus 200 for a while, and that line got away from me, and I thought Park was the side because a lot of money came in on him, and then it came back on Becker again, and I finished on minus 200 on Neds, an Australian bookie, and I was like, man, I kind of regret not going Park. Park just ran through him, so a beautiful underdog shot there. And Sulan Grumbo, I said I kind of like this guy as an underdog, but heaps of money came in on him, so I wasn't interested. But then the line went up to plus 180 again. Heaps of people played Peter Daniso, and yeah, this time I played more than half a unit on old mate Sulan Grumbo, and yeah, knocked him out in round 1. So one underdog bet on episode 3, one underdog bet on episode 1. So They both won in KO. So, yeah, very happy with that. And then this episode 4 was probably the best reads I had, right? I liked Van. I think it was Van or someone else I said on the podcast. This guy reminds me of Nakamura. Like, this is the similar kind of play. Grappler versus striker. Rui Imura has been knocked out like 3-4 times. And Van just has to survive. Kind of annoyed that I didn't play it. Obviously, in round 1, Imura took his back. And as soon as he survived, I was like, I think Van's going to take over. And he knocked him out. Then Kang Sang Uk Kim. Similar, right? This Dalchi Kamura guy, also from Pancrase. Another punching bag, 6-1. I said he should be like 6-4-2 because he got knocked out twice. And then once was a no contest for some reason. The other time, he won a DQ from illegal shots to the back from a knee. But he should have been knocked out twice. And then Kim knocks him out. So I'm like, man, all my leans are... I was happy with having $780 profit, but all my leans are kind of hitting. This could have been like a 3-unit day potentially. And then, I like Zhang. He almost knocks out Liu, and he loses rounds 2 and 3. Thank goodness, because if Zhang won, it would have been 3 underdogs in a row that I liked and I passed on. And UG versus Fam, I liked UG. It was a big favorite. I wasn't going to play anything, but then he went up to minus 200 on Neds, the Australian bookie, and I just hedged. I played Don Ma Fam and UG and at minus 200, and I played Dom's big line on Bet Online. And just kind of hedged myself to win profit either way. And then before the fight started, I got a little greedy and, put a little bit extra $150 on UG, which I lost. So I was like, who cares? I favor him at minus 200 anyway. Might as well lose a little bit more. I think he wins more often than not. And yeah, UG had no get-ups. Props to Don Ma Fan. I didn't think he was the best wrestler on tape or has the best control. I don't like any of these guys from Eternal. So I'm looking forward to fading Don Ma Fan. He'll probably be a good line because, he beat one of the favorites to win the whole thing. So, yeah, he'll probably get knocked out in the next round, depending who he's fighting. I don't even know. 155. Yeah, he might be fighting Kim, which is a disgusting fight. Yeah. And Zhu versus Binji, 2 training partners. I thought it was a competitive striking fight. It was a G or pass. I passed. He got robbed. So, whatever. I'm happy with that. So, $781. So, just under 2 units. And if you've been following me, right? If you haven't, I'll run through it right now. So, lost in January, lost in February. Never happened to me before in 7 years of betting. And I kind of worked my way up to profit in March and April. Lost a bunch on the last week of April, which broke my balls. Lost in KSW, in Octagon, in Cage Warriors, in UFC. And they're all like pick 'em and underdog shots. I was like, man, it was like a 5-unit month and I dropped to 2 units. So I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But then I lose beginning of May, PFL. I lose a boxing bet. I lose UFC. I lose 2,000 on Ryzen. That's 4 units in one event. And I'm like, man, now I'm negative for the year. And luckily, from then on out, I go on a heater. LFA, UFC, Invicta, Octagon, Burns, Morales, Road to UFC 1 and 2. And yeah, we finished the month on 1.5 units after being 3,000 down. And now I'm at 2,200 for the year. Again, it's trending to be the worst year of my gambling career other than the first ever year when, I had $100 units. That was like a learning year. But I'm in a good spot. I'm in profit again for the second time. I got out of a massive hole at the start of the month, which had me down for the year. So that's almost 5 units, whatever. I still think that I will up my units to 1,000 at some point, and then I'll make 5 or 10 units by the end of the year at 1,000. And, I'll finish like 20, 30,000, and I'll get over this 200,000 profit all-time betting, which will be something cool to, brag about. Again, I don't make millions. I'm not like these influencer Twitter guys who even knows if they're telling the truth or not. I just like to make money every year, tax-free in Australia. So yeah, I'm in a good spot. If you're someone that tails and they can't make their own opinion and they don't want to learn how to gamble themselves, then yeah, you should tail me now. You should tail me now. June, July, August. I'm feeling it. I'm locked in, as my friend Dogfather would say. Hello, dog. Yeah, I'm locked in. Right. I'm very selective. I don't force anything. I don't rush anything. And this is where I have to be. If I can do this, if this is how I hold my mental state, that's how I profit every single card. Right. As you can see here. Right. There's no forcing. There's no nothing. So yeah, we're in a good spot. In terms of road, the good was that I had the balls to lock in 2 underdog shots. The bigger the underdog, the more there's a fear that they might not win. And the bad is, not going bigger. I should have gone at least half a unit on Nakamura, or maybe even a unit. But yeah, when they're such big underdogs, there's that little bit of that fear. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, so that's it for the month. But if I can make some time to tape ACA, right, and this Brave FC card, that's on the last month of this last day of this month. So that could be maybe more profit. Whereas the UFC will be beginning of a new month. So I'm not saying yes. Generally, I haven't been touching ACA for like 3-4 months now because it's a hard tape. The cards are usually on the same card as the UFC and a bunch of other regionals that are more easy to tape. But I know a lot of these guys. I know Cruz. I know Alex Sharkin. I know Chris Honeycutt. I recognize these guys by the photo. So if they recognize them by the photo, I know exactly how they fight. So, and we got Enrique Barzola making an appearance. So, the month might be a little bit better, but generally I haven't been touching ACA. So therefore, there's a high chance that this is it for the month, which is profit. I'm happy with that. When I lost the Sakuraba bet, man, I was contemplating retirement. And also this Brave FC card is very good. Duque, the guy that's been in Octagon, KSW, and winning fights, PFL, not KSW, pardon me. Ponet, Jose Torres was in the UFC. These are good fighters, man. Dean Juice from Cage Warriors, Danilo Santos, Murad Gasanov. Well, I'll make an effort to take this Brave FC card because I like Brave. It's kind of like Octagon in KSW, but with higher level fighters. High level fighters. Like KSW and Octagon, there's a lot of bums near the bottom of the card. But look at this 7-0, 6-1, 6-1, 6-2. Very high level card. Alrighty, let's go through the comments. Apologies, lads. What's up, Blum Dog? Rude one. Let's go, Big Steve. Nakamura fed the people. Yes, it did. Everyone is really happy about the Nakamura bet. I wonder what made that one so much different. George, round 2 leans for next round at UFC Shanghai. Who's fighting who, man? I'll look it up now because it's a very short episode so far. Who's fighting who? Road to UFC August. All right, we got him. Dogfather will be taping Brave Nation. Let's go. High level card, man. Really high level card. Dogfather's killing it too. He's locked in for sure. Oh no, this fucking dog that I'm babysitting just threw up. Right. Oh man, that's fucking filthy. Dogfather, Park was probably best bet of the road. Yeah, I mean it's hard to tell, man. He was a big underdog, but so was he won with KO domination. But so did Nakamura, and so did the guy that knocked out Peter Daniso. Like these are all like high favorite underdogs. It's good. It's better than the last Road to UFC where there was just a bunch of favorites winning. Okay, let's have a look. So episode 5, Anguli versus Barabaya. I mean, Agulali. I kind of lean Agulali. Like he was more well-rounded from my tape. Batibaya, I mean, he won by knockout, so it's something that we haven't seen before. Shua Yin versus Aaron Tao. Wow, this one's interesting. And this is 2 really small, athletic, explosive guys. Aaron Tao at flyweight. He's very athletic, man. He's going to have a lot of physicality, but so does Shua Yin. This is an interesting fight. It's probably around pick'em, I reckon. Chang Min Yung versus Sebastian Salazar. Yeah, man. I mean, this is like a low output. Right, Salazar fights like a city kickboxing dude, and Min Yoon just fights like one of these many Asians on the road to UFC that just likes a clean striking fight. And he might be chinny. Wow, really, really good matched up fights. Wow, Nakamura versus Kamen Lee. This is a sick fight. This is a brawl. Someone dies. I guess I got to go with Nakamura, right, as an underdog, because Kamen Lee will brawl with him. But great fights. Great fights. We're probably not going to have like easy spots anymore because there's more... when they release the odds, there'll be more footage and there'll be tighter lines, but who knows? There should still be an edge when the average public picks the wrong side and we can capitalize. The boy Sulang is fighting Sim Kai Zhong. Yeah, Sulang all day. Hopefully he's not a massive favorite. Van is fighting Lawrence Hu. Interesting striking fight. This is probably a boring as staring contest. Park fighting Dom Ma Fan. Interesting. Yeah, wow. Interesting. Don't know. Competitive fight. Right. Every time Park has fought a grappler, it's been a back and forth. Like he fought Kim outside of the road to UFC and it was a split decision. And Dom Ma Fan can only pretty much grapple, nothing else. So back and forth. Alrighty. And Sango Kim versus Ren. I mean, who knows? Interesting fight. Ren has been grappled before. This is probably another pick and fight. So I gave him a leans, but really, yeah, really close competitive fights. These are all fresh in my head from taping him. I taped them extensively because I really wanted to make money on the off week. So yeah, really competitive fights. All right. Hope that satisfies you, George. If it doesn't, then you will have to seek help from your misser. Rude one. Love your attitude, man. Locked and moving upwards and onwards. Yes, it's a good time. Usually I'll be in Europe this time, like my boy Big Bird Pierce, sipping cocktails and being locked in, but I have to be in Australia in winter, locking in on hard mode. Winning mindset, that's it. Blom Dog, what you call the dog and they win by KO, it's extra. Oh, right, yeah, it is. Lou Betcher, the GOAT. What's up, my friend? Steve, after 4 episodes of Rio to the Sea, who, in your opinion, brought the most shame and dishonor to their family? Well, you want to say the Indian dude, but no, there wasn't probably much honor in the family anyway. But yeah, the way he got knocked out and the way he put his hand up, like he said, no more, no mas. That was sad to watch. Maybe just don't bring Indian guys in the UFC anymore because it's just brings the whole shame to the country, to the entire country, honestly. Alrighty, well that's it. That's the recap. What else is there to say? Road to UFC, 2 bets, 2 hits. Again, that's the monthly overview. Nothing more to say. No point wasting any time. We're locked in. There's no more bets for UFC. I'm just going to get tackled now. So, going to get into it. Like and subscribe and peace out.